the new album, Staying at Tamara's, is out now. I love the story behind why it's called Staying at Tamara's. When I was reading this, I was wetting myself laughing. Can you explain to viewers that don't know why have you called it that?
I find it really hard to write at home. There's a lot of distractions, especially as we toured for 2 years. So I live around the corner from my friends and family, and you want to spend your time with them. So I took myself over to Barcelona for a month.
So you just decided on a whim, Barcelona's the place to go?
Yeah, like I knew I love it, but I've only spent a day or two there, and I was in a very fortunate position where I could go for a month, wherever. And that's, you know, a beautiful thing. But instead of getting a hotel or an apartment, I found this stranger on the internet that was renting their spare room out.
This is brilliant. Go on.
And I hovered on because I found it on the internet, and I was like, should I do it? Is this crazy? And then I rang my management. I was like, can you help me book this? And they were like, are you sure? Down the phone, it was like, are you? And I was like, just do it, just do it. And I didn't think it was a bad idea until I landed. And then I was like, what are you doing, man? Like, you don't need to be doing this. But my host was Tamara, and I stayed there for a month, and her friends were all musicians and artist designers and journalists.
But did you know any of that before you went there? You didn't know who
clue.
Tamara was, you didn't know who her friends were, and that they were kind of in a similar industry as you?
I had not a clue. And I was seeing it as a worst-case scenario. I need to check out, and she's a bit unhinged, and I don't want to be there. Best-case scenario, she can recommend some nice places to eat and kind of leaves me to it, and that's it. But it was even better than that.
Did they know who you were?
She didn't have a clue.
Was that quite nice?
Of course, yeah. I took a guitar and a little suitcase, and then one night me and her were sat up and we were having a bit of red wine and sharing records and stuff, and she said, oh, you've got a guitar. I've heard you playing. Have you got anything on Spotify? And I was like, oh.
Just a casual number one album.
Yeah. I was like, and he said, what's your name? And I said, oh, George Ezra. And she was kind of like, oh, how do you spell that? And I was like, oh, God, here we go. And once you know, Budapest had 300 million plays or something ridiculous. And she kind of just looked at me as if to say, what are you doing here?
Why are you in my house?
Yeah.
And then she was renting another room out to this girl who I think was Portuguese, and she ran in and she just went, I knew I recognised you. And I was like, oh, no.
So the jig was finally up.
And did you manage to write the album there?
So what I do on trips like that is I take a guitar and I take notebooks, but I don't really worry about writing songs. I'm more just fill the journals up with everything I'm doing. And I'll take a note of everyone I'm meeting and the things I'm seeing. And then when I get home, I write the songs from all the nonsense I've written down.
Right.
And we had to wait 4 years for this album. Why the long wait?
Well, I think because the first record did so much better than I was anticipating. Like, I loved it, but I didn't think it was going to do that well. But as a result, you tour for 2 years, and you're constantly catching up with yourself. So at the end of that, I took a month or two to do absolutely nothing and just to catch up with the people I love. And then it just took a little longer than I was anticipating, you know? On the first album, there were some songs I wrote when I was 14. And you're not at 14 going, one day this will go on an album. You're just writing. So, yeah, it was just a learning curve, you know?
Talking of opportunities, I'm going to ask you outright. John Lewis, Christmas advert this year. Are you doing it? Don't lie to me, George Ezra, I'm a fan.
I can't believe we're talking about Christmas.
Well, it's April and that's what we do in Britain.
It has to be you. Because we were saying this earlier, weren't we? If you could have anyone's voice to be able to sing, it would be yours.
I would...
And you make sense with that.
It would be... I do love Christmas.
Yeah. Do you like John Lewis?
Love John Lewis.
How did the audition go?
Do you know what? I actually did enter for last year's. I don't know if I should say this, but I didn't get it. I was to the
tragic. But you've gone back for this year?
No, I don't. Not yet. I mean, I'm more than happy to give it a go.
John Lewis, what are you doing? No, look at the poor boy's on tour. He's saying he'll fit your advert in. Terrible.
Look at him, he looks terrible. Look, he's not doing very well, he needs a bit of help.
He needs, come on, he needs a bit of work. Help the boy out. Well, listen, we hope you do that. Because we love your voice. Me and Emma are massive fans of yours.
Staying at Tamara's is out. Came out in March, right? And you were on tour literally for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Where are you tonight? Birmingham?
We played Brixton Academy in London last night. And then I got to stay in my own bed.
Lovely.
Yeah, that counts as 2 nights' sleep.
Perfect.
In one. And then tonight is Birmingham, yeah.
And can we very quickly mention your podcast as well? My husband raves about it.
Yeah.
George Ezra and Friends. You've got, like, Ed Sheeran on there. Oh, my goodness.
I've been doing them with all sorts.
You've got...
Well, today, I'm leaving here, and Sam Smith is also playing in Birmingham. So I was like, Sam, can you spare an hour? And he was like, he's well up for it. So that's where I'm heading straight after this. It was actually
Sam Smith, you know.
a little Twitter direct message.
Oh, well,
Sliding
that's
into
good.
Sam Smith's DMs. Let that be another
Do you
headline.
have a hit list for who you want on your podcast?
I kind of, honestly, I see
is it
it
just
as
who you come
the kind of, so for people watching, it's kind of, I sit down and talk to other musicians about everything that we do and try and not kind of make it shinier than it needs to be. So we talk about the realities of it.
Yeah.
And I love it. And it's kind of the one project I've got going where absolutely no one else is involved.
You're completely in control.
Yeah, I reach out to people if they're up for it. I travel, like Rag and Bone Man I did, and he was like, I'll do it, but you have to come to me on tour. So I was like, I got the train up to Glasgow, stayed
Couple
the
of free
night.
tickets, lovely.
It was brilliant. And so I'm really, the thing that I'm struggling with now is, now that I'm busy, is trying to, when I started it, I was waiting to release and things like that. So, yeah, but it's going really well.
Well, we love you. We
I
think
love
you're
how
amazing.
you float about everywhere.
We
as
really
well.
do.
Brilliant.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for coming
so
in.
much.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.